Hey there, welcome back.
It's touring history. I'm Lane.
And I'm Dave, and we've got another day to celebrate.
That's right. It's May 3rd, a date that, like most of history, will make you say, "Oh, that's fascinating," followed quickly by, "Wait, that's real?"
I always do. A day with Machiavelli, Bing Crosby, student riots, legal victories, and the reason we have an entire aisle of plastic potatoes at Target.
At first, birthdays.
Yay!
Let's start with those birthdays. Niccolò Machiavelli, the
Hey.
father of political scheming. If you ever said, "It's not personal, it's just business," congratulations. You're a little bit Machiavellian and a candidate for any White House administration.
Oh, that's right. And don't forget Bing Crosby, born in 1903. The only person to sell millions of records by singing about snow while living in Southern California, where there is none.
And James Brown, the Godfather of Soul, the only man who could sweat through a tuxedo and still look cool.
I feel right. Sorry. And on this day in 1802, Washington, D.C. was incorporated, and almost immediately the city's core export became, well, disappointment.
Yes, DC was built on a swamp, and it's been capturing career politicians like the La Brea Tar Pits ever since.
Ooh, help, get me out!
I don't want to go. Keep me here.
Well, what happened in 1937, Lane?
Oh, thanks for waking me up, Dave. Yes, in 1937, Gone with the Wind wins the Pulitzer. That's the reason I was asleep at the wheel. I was reading Gone with the Wind. It's a book
Well,
that's
Lane, I don't give a damn.
It's a book that's somehow both beloved and deeply problematic. It's like if your grandma knitted you a Confederate flag. Sentimental, but please, let's never do this again.
What do you think of that, little Jimmy? It'll go perfect in your bedroom. In 1948, the Supreme Court ruled against racial housing covenants, which was a huge step. Finally, black families could buy homes in previously restricted neighborhoods. And then, as if on cue, America invented new and exciting forms of housing discrimination. Because if there's one thing America loves more than a parade, it's moving the goalposts. Can you say red line?
Oh man, I could say Red Line. I guess I could also say Sears Tower. What about that,
Ooh,
Dave?
big building. Still there, I think.
Yeah,
Are you?
but in 1973, the Sears Tower that was on this day, the Sears Tower was topped out with the top beam being laid, making it the world's tallest building. Chicagoans celebrated by insisting for the next 50 years that it's still called Sears, damn it.
Well, they could rename it the Free Pizza for Everyone Tower, and Chicagoans would still say, nope, Sears. And if there's one thing Chicago loves, it's being tall and not called Willis.
That's right. And in the world of advertising, on this day in 1952, Mr. Potato Head became the first toy ever advertised on television. Yes, we invented the modern children's commercial by selling kids a box of dismembered plastic faces for a potato.
And those things are still littered under my couch. And let's be honest, if that was invented today, we'd call it NFT Head and lose millions in crypto.
Absolutely. And we'd be doing
Well,
it on Instagram, right, Dave?
that's
Tell us
right,
about
because in
that.
2014, Instagram debuted native ads, not to be confused with Native Americans. So you can stroll through fake photos of your friends' vacations and be marketed acne cream at the same time. Machiavelli, eat your heart out. Well, Lane, speaking of eating, it's time for a word from our sponsor.
That's right. If this all sounds exhausting, don't worry. This episode is brought to you by Rise Donuts in Wilton, Connecticut.
Oh, that's right, Lane. Small batch, handcrafted, and unlike Gone with the Wind, universally loved.
And if you're going to eat your feelings, don't be like a French protester and take all day.
That's right. Follow at Rise Donut, and don't worry, no one will judge you for ordering the entire menu. Well, maybe just the line of 50 people behind you.
And now back to the show.
That's right. Do you know what happened in 1915, Lane?
Tell us, Dave, what
In
happened?
1915, in Flanders Fields, that's in quotes, is written, becoming the most quoted poem in remembrance ceremonies. I've never heard it. And the number one reason poppies are forever associated with tragic English weather, not to mention Glenda the Good Witch from The Wizard of Oz.
Hmm.
Poppy. And maybe a
Flanders
few fields in
Fields.
Afghanistan.
Flanders Fields.
Flanders,
Flanders.
Ned Flanders Field.
Hi ho, neighbor.
Oakley dokley.
Oakley dokley then. On this day in the year 2000, in the year 2000,
2000.
geocaching begins.
Whatever
Yes,
that is.
the sport of using expensive satellite technology to find old Tupperware in public parks.
Why, look, Helen, there's a box with no bread in it. What's it for? It's like Pokemon Go, but for people who love hiking and frustrating disappointment.
Yes. And then
What
also
happened
on
in
this day,
2007, Lane?
well, in 2007, Dave, Madeline McCann disappeared. Whoever she is, God bless her. That's right, folks. We mention even random European crime scenes. We call them head scratchers. It happened in Portugal, launching a global search, tabloid frenzy, and more conspiracy documentaries than Netflix has true crime stories.
Wow. Also something important happened in 1978 on this date. The
Hmm.
first spam email is sent. So,
Yeah.
thank you, history, for ensuring that every morning starts with, "Congratulations, you've won," and ends with malware. I'll give our listeners a chance to guess where the term spam came from. And it's not the canned meat.
Spam, 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 baked beans, spam, 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 and spam. Oh, lobster thermidor, crevettes with Mornay sauce, garnished with truffle pate brandy, and fried and spam.
Woohoo!
That's a lot of spam,
That's
I
a
say.
lot of spam.
And finally, on this day in 2016, the Fort McMurray wildfire forced an entire Canadian city to evacuate, reminding us that even Canada gets tired of being polite and occasionally just burns the whole thing down.
That's right, Nell. And the fact that all the Mounties were busy rescuing damsels in distress from railroad tracks.
So that's May 3rd, folks. Cities founded, towers topped, riots that mattered, toys that don't, and more advertising than your dopamine receptors can handle.
That's right. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm floating on a cloud of information right now. We'll be back tomorrow with another day of history's best, worst.
Until then, stay skeptical
Stay at least 3 clicks ahead of the next spam email. And
and stay historical.
donuts.
Donuts, Sanders, donuts.
Something like
Bye, everybody.
that. See you tomorrow.
Woo!